Last time on Dragon Ball Super, Trunks barely escapes fighting Black and Zamasu, Vegeta trains in a room of spirit and time, Goku learns the Mafuba, then they go to the future, where Black immediately destroys the time machine, and then they have a big fight with those two, that's about it. The episode is kind of ended there. Not even really like a cliffhanger, just kind of like, they're about to fight more! Episode end. This episode was solid. Like, it was a really solid episode. Not necessarily like amazing or fantastic. It was a good episode. It did a lot of things right. It did some things that are kind of bugged me personally, but for the most part, it just did shit right, and I enjoyed it. Now, before I start into the actual critique of like the things that happened, first I want to bring up is the animation. I don't talk about the animation as much as I used to, but it was kind of bothersome because like here we had an episode where like throughout the majority of it, I would say like 3/4 of this episode, it looked pretty sloppy. There was really bad storyboarding. There was really bad just compositions, and just the art was really sloppy looking, and just it wasn't a good looking episode. And then all of a sudden, in like the last 5 minutes, once Vegeta starts fighting and stuff, and shit starts going down, like it's like everything's like nicely on model, and it looks fucking awesome, and like once like the storyboarding is a lot better, and it looks fucking great. And it's just, where was all that the rest of this episode? Like, I'm used to these episodes, like, if it's gonna look bad, it's just gonna look bad the entire episode. Or if it's gonna look good, it's gonna look good throughout 90% of the episode. Not like 3/4 of it looks kind of, and then, like, just like a chunk of it that looks fucking fantastic. So yeah, that was kind of weird. Didn't really care for that. As for the story contents of this episode, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Like, we have Goku and Vegeta training, like they're training in very different ways, and that's cool. You know, that's very them. Like Goku's like, I'm gonna learn this new technique, and Vegeta's just like, I'm just gonna punch things until I get stronger, and like it was cool. And then like Vegeta like blows up like like the palace at the top of the heavenly realm, and it's like that was kind of badass, also kind of dickish and completely unnecessary. Also, did he blow that up while inside of the room of spirit and time? Did he like transcend dimension through just pure aura and rage and anger? Because yeah, like it's one of those things like oh dude, like Vegeta's ready to fucking throw down, and you think about it for 2 seconds, like why did he do that? Other than it looked cool and was just a complete dick move on his part. Then when we go to the future timeline, Trunks is just now waking up. He's all injured, he's been senzu beamed, and they give no explanation really to how he got away. Like, we never see that. It's just like, oh, Mai brought you here. It's just like, well, how? Like, we just, like, I mean, he was having this big fight, and then he's here. I mean, like, he was, like, flying, like, way far away from the city that they even started in. Like, he was, like, like, off, like, a mountain in the woods and shit. So it's like, how did Mai even find him? Like, did she rescue him like last time? Like, did she like fucking fire a goddamn smoke grenade again? Because that was really stupid the first time they did it. Like, that's like one of those things I'm like, okay, you really need to explain shit like this, because like trying to save like a character like Trunks from some people like Black and Zamasu, that's not an easy task. Like, unless they just like blasted Trunks like way far away, and they just weren't able to find his body to finish him off, like that would make sense. Or if maybe just Trunks flew away and hid and passed out, but like just showing something, like anything would have helped make that scene better. Unless it was something like really stupid like the gas grenade thing, because that was dumb the first time, and it'd be really, really dumb if it happened again. Speaking of things that are really dumb, there's a magic bullet that Mai has, and honestly, like it seems like a lot of people have an issue with this, like, oh, that magic bullet's dumb. Like, I don't have a problem with it at all. Like, it's, first off, it's like, yeah, it's this high-tech fucking laser bullet. It's like, okay, yeah, alright, I have bought into this. In fact, honestly, I'm more annoyed that it didn't have more of an effect on Black. Like, yeah, because Black gets hit with that shit in the head and, like, falls backwards. He clearly didn't see it coming. He's completely taken off guard. And it doesn't even, like, graze his cheek or, like, anything. So I'm like, because, going by Dragon Ball logic, as it has been, kind of established, if your guard is down, like you don't have like your aura up to like, reinforce your body, simple things like that can hurt and kill you. So it was just kind of weird that like, Black takes like this fucking bullet to the head and it ricochets off of him, and he's just like, fucking humans. Like, I just kind of thought that was weird, because like I said, I like the idea of Bulma as like her last ditch effort, made like this super fucking high tech laser bullet full of magic or whatever. Like, that's fine, but like the fact that it had like no effect on Black where it hit him. And people are probably going to be like, you're just nitpicking, man. I was like, no, I just want universal consistency in my fiction. That's not like a high bar to ask, people. If you just watch things that are in Dragon Ball, you'd see that a lot of other shows can do universal consistency. It's not hard. Like all they had to say was just like, oh no, like I barely grazed him. And like have like a little cut on his cheek and show like, yeah, that bullet would have fucked him up if she had aimed properly. Like that's all it would have taken. Or just have him, like, notice it at the last second and maybe catch the bullet or something. Or, just anything would have been better than just bullet ricochets off his head and does jack shit. Now, something I take, like, a legit issue with is probably... It's really annoying, and it's not this episode's fault. Really. This is just this episode following through what has already been established in previous episodes. But the previous episodes have yet to explain it. And really, this falls more back on the previous episodes for not explaining that. As Trunks' new transformation, because this wasn't a temporary, like, in a fit of rage thing. He can just do this now. Like he's in his Super Saiyan 1 form, and then he powers up, and his hair spikes out more, and he has, like, this God aura mixed in with his regular aura, and it's like, what the fuck is this? Why? Like... I've heard people like throw out like their headcanons. It's like, oh well, I'm sure because he's a half Saiyan, he's like gonna only have half God power. One, that's racist. Two, even if that is the case, the show needs to explain it. Like that's one of those things like they're freaking obligated to do. Like you can't just introduce some new bullshit and then just never give us an explanation. Even though they didn't really give us an explanation for Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. But then again, they at least gave us something. Like, it's a god, it's a Super Saiyan with the power of a Super Saiyan god. Okay, that's better than, whoa, Trunks got this thing. What is it? Like I said, not this episode's fault. It is the sins of past episodes, but god damn it, people. Much like the Pilaf gang being kids, it's just, you guys really need to fucking explain this shit in universe in this series. Like, because this is kind of bullshit. What wasn't bullshit, though, was pretty much the whole last half of this episode. That was pretty fucking great. We have Goku and Vegeta coming back. The time machine gets destroyed. That's it. They are stuck there. And now Bulma actually serves a function in the story now. Like, she has something to do while she's there. Because before, I was just like, oh, god damn it, she's just going to be there so she can get fucking killed. Or something, or like not killed, but like hurt and probably rage out Vegeta, or she's just gonna get in the way. No, she's there to serve a legitimate function in the narrative. That is fantastic. Now I'm excited that Bulma's here because I'm like, yay, Bulma's plot relevant, showing that Dragon Ball characters don't always need to be ridiculously OP to be relevant in the narrative and to play an important role. I really loved that concept. Like, I never even considered that, oh yeah, the time machine could break and that's why Bulma needs to be there. No, it's just Bulma's there to get in the way and fuck up the story. Nope, no, she is serving a legitimate purpose in the narrative, and I am really proud of Toby's writing staff and Toriyama for not just, using Bulma to just get in the way of the narrative and actually integrating her into it. That was nice. Hopefully, I'm not speaking too soon and they're gonna fuck this up in a couple episodes. Gonna keep my fingers crossed on that one. Something else I also really liked was whenever Goku brings up, oh, we should ask Whis to help us. He's a lot more, useful, he's a lot friendlier than Beers. Certainly, like, if we go to him, like, he's still alive, right? And then Kaioshin just drops some fucking lore on us out of nowhere. Just, oh, no, like, whenever, a god is destroyed, like, it's, the angel over him, just stops functioning until the next god is, until, the next god comes around. It's like, oh, that's how that works. So that's what Whis is. Like, he is, okay, so now we have a term for him. He is an angel. We now have an in-universe term. Whis is an angel. That's awesome. We know that his connection to the god is to serve the god and to act as, just kind of like as a vassal for the god. Like, he He acts on the god's behalf, basically, just kind of is his buddy. And if the god isn't around, they are inactive. I wonder if that same thing kind of works for Kibito, because, you know, you have Kibito, he's not a Kaioshin, he's just kind of just the, like, Kaioshin's equivalent to Whis. So I'm wondering now if they're ever going to discuss whether or not Kibito is an angel as well. That's something I would really be fascinated about them kind of exploring more of. Something else that was also pretty damn fascinating was seeing Goku and Vegeta teaming up, because that's something that we don't really get to see. Like, you know, we had Vegeta fighting one guy and Goku fighting another one, and that was awesome, because, you know, like, why weren't you guys doing this shit sooner? Because, you know, like, the entire last fight that they had, I'm like, why is Goku fighting by himself? Why is Vegeta fighting by himself? Why is Trunks fighting by himself? Why are they all taking turns against two enemies? Here, it's just like, hey, let's be smart, and you take one, I take the other. And I like how Vegeta just is just like, yeah, I'm going to take black, fuck it. It's like, I'm going to take the one with your face on, and I'm going to kick the shit out of him. And then Vegeta kicks the shit out of him. Like, that was pretty fucking metal. I like that. And it makes sense, because we keep playing this whole Goku and Vegeta are on par. Vegeta just spent 6 months in the Room of Spirit and Time, so he should theoretically be stronger than Goku now. So, you know, it made sense contextually. The fact that, like, the only thing I didn't really like, though, was when Black is just like, oh, why am I not more powerful? Why are you stronger? And Vegeta's just like, oh, because you're a fake Kakarot, you don't blah, 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 and you're a disgrace to science cells. And I'm like, why don't you say, because I trained for 6 months in a Room of Spirit and Time, why do you have to drag all this additional bullshit, like, you're a fake, you'll never be as good as the real Kakarot? And it's like, really? Because he kind of kicked the teetotal shit out of the real Kakarot. And you. Like, you went and did extra training, came back, and then beat his ass. So, yeah, that was just kind of weird. Not sure, like, why Vegeta needed that dialogue. I really felt it was more hindering to the situation, because it just seemed like total bullshit. But whatever, you know, that's just, it's really just kind of like a minor nitpick. It could just be Vegeta just being full of shit. And that's how I'm pretty much going to translate it. It's Vegeta just being full of himself and talking out of his ass and really not having a proper understanding of the situation, because he's Vegeta and he talks out of his ass a lot. So, yeah. And pretty much the episode ends there. The episode ends there. He powers up. He kind of has, like, reverse Trunks aura at the very end. I don't know if anyone's noticed that. Like he has, like, the God aura, and then inside of that he had, like, his golden Super Saiyan aura, and I'm like, the fuck? Was that, like, a weird little animation choice, or was that, like, I don't know how to feel about that. That was just weird. And, like, if that keeps showing up next episode, I'm gonna be like, okay, guys, you can't just keep adding auras and changing aesthetics. You really need to kind of stick to a style. Hopefully, it was just some sort of weird thing they did, animation-wise, aesthetically, for this one scene, and it won't happen again. We'll find out next week, though. So yeah, like I said, this episode, it was just a good, rock-solid episode. It had some faults, nothing major, nothing that completely hampered the enjoyment level of it, or really bothered me, or really dragged down the experience. I enjoyed watching this episode pretty much from beginning to end. Now, as a side note, this is the first episode to be available legally for streaming in the US, and also various other countries. So, if it is legally streaming for you, go watch it legally. Do not watch fan subs. You can watch it on Daisuke for free, or you can watch it on Crunchyroll. You can, you know, for a fee. And honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, guys, watching on Crunchyroll is pretty awesome. First off, the video quality, way better than the fucking, you know, TV rips that we've been getting. Like, it's like, oh, it's a 1080p download. It's like, this is really shitty, poorly encoded 1080p that you rip from a television broadcast that was probably had a signal of 720p, actually. So, yeah, no. This looks so much better. I wouldn't say it looks quite as good as the Blu-ray rips I've seen. It's like maybe like a smidge down from that, but god damn it, man, if it isn't just leaps and bounds better than any of, like, the broadcast rips that we've been seeing. This is just so much better. And the fact that we don't have to, like, wait for subs and then wait for better subs. We get fairly accurate subs. They got the Herms seal of approval. In fact, Dragon Team has announced that, like, yeah, these are rock solid subs. You guys don't need us. We're not going to be subbing Dragon Ball anymore. So, that's a sign. That's a good sign that, like, the subs are good enough. Unfortunately, though, the subs are not necessarily good enough for me, because I'm just going to state this right now. They're using dub terms. I don't agree with that. I'm going to have a video on this. I'm just going to cut a massive fucking promo against this shit in another video very near future. So look forward to that. But yeah, besides that, though, besides their use of dub terms and their kind of the weird mixing of Japanese and dub term terminology, like, other than that weird shit, like, the subs are really good. Like I said, they got the Herm seal of approval, and that's good enough for me, and that should be good enough for everyone else. If you like this franchise, if you want Dragon Ball Super to do well, fucking do the right thing. Watch it legally. I will have links below. I will try to make sure I link it every single episode review from here on out. Do the right thing. Watch it legally. Legally. Don't be a fuckbag, and do the right thing. Till next time, guys, Xeon, out.